All right, it's the Blurring Out with Eric Blair show. We're here at Namm Jam 2020, and I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend, Brad Gillis.
The myth, the legend. How are you, man?
I'm good. Brad Gillis, it is an honor
Thanks,
to talk
man.
to you.
Great to be here. I'm having so much fun, I've been going to Namm for 30 years, since the 80s, and I hadn't been here for a couple years, and same old. You come here, you schmooze, and people take care of you. You're endorsees and everything. Next thing you know, you're getting free stuff, the guitars and amps and, stuff from my studio. So it's great. And plus the hang and the schmooze. And here tonight, seeing all the people I've known in the industry, hanging and jamming with and playing with on tour for the last 30 years. It's a lot of fun, man.
How many years now with Night Ranger?
Well, we started in 1980 as Ranger. And when we got together, putting out a record after I played with Ozzy in '82, we found out there was another band called the Rangers, so we changed the name to Night Ranger.
What it was like for you to tour with Ozzy Osbourne? I guess it took you a little bit of time to get past the learning curve.
It was a very scary situation for me. I got the call. I remember I was Night Ranger. We weren't playing. We were trying to get our record deal, and so we were kind of laying low. So I started a band called the Alameda All-Stars in the San Francisco Bay Area, in Alameda by Oakland. And I was playing a couple Ozzy tunes, and I heard on the radio that Randy had tragically died in the plane crash, and I actually was heading up to take my equipment up to a gig I was doing, and pulled over and went, and I just saw him the year before at the Oakland Coliseum, Day in the Green, and blew everybody away. And about a week later, I get a call from Sharon at 6 in the morning. She was in New York, gave me a call. Hello, Bradley, this is Sharon. We'd like to fly you to New York for an audition. I'm like, who is this? But then I heard this delay in the phone, because my dad was a pilot, and when he was in New York and we'd be at home, there would be a delay in the phone in the 80s. So I go, yeah, well, put Ozzy on the phone. So she puts Ozzy on the, hello, Bradley, grab a pen and paper and write these songs down. I was like, oh my God, it's Ozzy. So long story short, I wrote down the songs. That was a Sunday. I started learning. I only knew like 2 or 3 songs. I left on Tuesday to go to New York. Bernie Torme was playing in the interim before the new guy, me, came in. And basically, I went on tour with them for 4 days. At the soundboard, watching the show with a big castle and everything, blown away, going, oh my God, I'm going to be up there in a few days. And on the 5th day, I told him I was ready, went to do sound check, and Ozzy didn't even show up. We did 7 out of 18 songs, and I played that night for the first time, Binghamton, New York. Sold out, freaked out. Rudy was so gracious and great, helping me out. And about an hour before we did the show, he came up and said, Brad, we do this thing where we swing the necks back and forth. And I went, oh my God, no. So I'm sitting in my room, 20 minutes before I'm, or backstage doing this thing, trying to get it together, learn that. And it was just a tough situation for me because Randy just passed and the fans weren't really accepting anybody new. But 2 weeks later, we did the King Biscuit Flower Hour live broadcast nationwide. And that started to give me some cred. People go, well, he's okay, And we did the tour, went all over the world, unbelievable. Went to Europe, Japan, all over the States. And towards the end, it was just a little tough. You could tell Ozzy was drained, a lot of pressure, everything that went on with Randy, his death and everything. And basically, Rudy left the band to go with Quiet Riot. They got a record deal. We got a record deal. I left the band. And Ozzy took his break, then got Jakey in the band. But I tell you, it was a wild experience, and it was the most exciting experience of my lifetime.
What is your perspective now on the live album, Speak of the Devil?
Well, we did that back in '82, and Ozzy needed to put out a record, so we ended up recording that. And, we went into SIR in San Francisco, a rehearsal place, rehearsed for a week, getting all the Black Sabbath stuff together. We did 2 nights, they picked the best of. And, it was great that it came out. This is 20 years ago, but I had pretty good tone back then. We did a stereo thing with my guitar. I had a 10 millisecond delay and a little chorus, so I had great tone. And I took Tony's parts, and I just, I kind of stepped out of the box with it, kind of inject my own my own my style or whatever. But you know, I mean, here at Namm, I signed probably 8 or 9 Speak of the Devil records. You know, and it was great for me to do that and actually put something on vinyl with Ozzy. I would have loved to have done a studio record with him, but it didn't happen. It's what it is. But the cool thing was we finished Dawn Patrol, Night Ranger's first record, and Speak of the Devil at the same time, and October 15th, 1982, both records were released the same week, which was, it's like, wow, you know, on top of the world. But then we came out, MTV came out, Don't Tell Me You Love Me video came out, and all, you know, we were just, I was on top of the world, man. And you know, still together with Night Ranger, we're doing 100 shows this year. We got a major tour, which I can't announce until next week, love to tell you. 3 bands, amphitheater around the country, 50, 60 shows. We'll probably do 100 this year, the most shows we've done since the 80s. And I'm a lucky man to have such a long, fruitful career.
I want to know, were the solos you played on Speak of the Devil, were they planned out, or were you just freeballing it?
Oh, it was pretty much freeballing it. Basically, we were just learning the arrangements back then, you know, to make sure we had the arrangements right, you know, with Rudy, Tommy, and me, no keyboards. But I would always stick to the basic format of the classic Tony Iommi melodies and then branch off a little on my own. But, you know, that was 38 years ago.
Tell me what it was like to be a part of the MTV machine when Sister Christian was in everybody's ears in, I believe, 1984.
Well, the thing about MTV, when they came out, they were 24/7 format, and they didn't have enough content. So when Don't Tell Me You Love Me came out, they were playing us 25, 30 times a day in a 24-hour period. So it put a face to the music, so when we went on the road, people recognized us, knew who we were. We were lucky to get right in MTV in the get-go, and you know, I mean, we had a dozen videos throughout the 80s that did real well. So thank you, MTV. It's a little different now.
How did that change you as a person? How did you deal with the fame?
Well, you know, I'd already been out with Ozzy, so I'd, you know, with interviews and stuff I did with Ozzy, I'd already got a glimpse of people in my face, cameras, you know, photo sessions and everything. But being on MTV after doing the videos, being home and seeing me on TV, just turn on every hour, was very cool. And like I said, it put a face to the band, you know.
Tell me how Keri Kelli got in the band and what kind of...
I love Keri.
Yeah, tell me about how it's reinvigorated Night Ranger.
You know, Kerry's great because he got in the band, and he's a great player, great tone, great player, and he fit right in, great personality, everybody loves him. Him and I gel great, and that's what you need. Night Ranger, everybody gels in the band, everybody gets along. We keep everybody in check, keep the egos down, which you need when you've been together with Jack Kelly and me for, you know, since 1980. So Keri fit right in, which is a great thing. And I remember, you know, he was doing all the solos to perfection and branching out on his own. And it came to Still Rockin' America with Jeff Watson, the original guitar player, doing the 8-finger thing. And we had a 2-week break. And I had told Keri, I go, how cool would that be if you were to learn the 8-finger technique on Rockin' America? He's like, oh, yeah, okay, you know. 2 weeks later, we get back together, we do a sound check, and he goes, hey, man. He looks at me with a big smile. He goes, let's do Rockin' America with a big smile. I go, what's up? He goes, I learned the 8-finger thing. I go, are you kidding, bro? Got down, played it, man, and he does it every night. And I knew he had to work on it. It's not easy to do. So he's a hard worker, great guy, great player, great tone. You know, he's got the Les Paul thing, I got the Strat thing. We harmonize well together on all the Night Ranger songs with harmonies, and we got a great machine going. We're doing 100 shows this year. I mean, you know, our new agency, CAA, is booking us all over, and we got a major tour that I can't announce, but it's coming out, 50, 60 shows, and you know, and me personally, I do TV music on the side, been doing that for 20 years. ESPN, Fox Sports, and you know, I just landed a flamenco tune on The Price is Right, stuff like that, which is fun for me. But I'm just finishing my solo record, and I got Gary Moon singing on it. Gary Moon came in with Night Ranger when Jack left to do the damn Yankees. Gary's a mofo, man. What a singer, man. He's got low girth down at the lower, you know, spectrum, and up top he screams like, you know, AC/DC or whatever. You know, he's got this thing. So I'm almost done with that record. Looking forward to putting that out. And you know, people say rock is dead, but it ain't dead, man. You can tell by the, you know, when we do these big tours and how many people are coming out to relive the old memories of the 80s.
Why do you think Night Ranger has endured the test of time?
Well, there's one little ballad called Sister Christian that kind of hit home for everybody. I mean, it really did. And that's our, you know, we were lucky to, you know, that took us from a opening act to a headliner. And I remember going to, after Sister Christian was on top of the charts, playing everywhere in the country and the world, whatever. But pulling into La Crosse, Wisconsin, late '83, I think it was, when Sister Christian was released, and pulling up our bus, our first headline tour, and on the marquee it said, Night Ranger tonight sold out. It's like, you know, that was a landmark pinnacle time for us, our first sold out headline show. And we endured a great run in the 80s and lasted until 89, and we took a break. You know, then Nirvana and the music changed, and you know, but then we came back and got back together in 96, and we've been doing it since, and having a blast. And I'm just glad to be able to still be touring with my band, getting a great response, and knowing that rock isn't dead. You know what I mean, Eric? It ain't dead. I mean, tonight, I mean, the Namm show, just everywhere, you know? I mean, it's a fun thing to be involved with, and I thank my lucky stars.
What does your solo album sound like?
The deal with it, it's heavy, modern production, big live drums, big guitars, but my hooks are different. The vocals, Gary's singing is different. It's not generic rock. Every song kind of goes somewhere else. And I kind of get into some deep stuff, you know? Alcohol abuse and party time and women crawling all over you and just different. I don't want to get into it too much, but every song's a little bit different, but has a continuity of Gary's voice and my guitar playing. And I'm very proud of the production. I've been taking my time on it because I want it to be huge. I don't want any filler. I want every song to stand out and people go, what the fuck was that? Jeez, man. So I'm taking my time on it. Ain't no hurry. What is it, January? You know, hopefully I'll have it out by summertime. But I will not be denied. I will not be denied.
That's right. It will be mine. Yes, it will be mine. What label?
Oh, I haven't even shopped it yet. I got to finish my product, man. You don't sell something before the product's finished.
That's right. We will sell no wine before it's time.
Yes, there you go.
All right, Brad.
Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you, man.
The Blairing Out Show.